All right, thanks, Jess. Here in Southwest Florida, there's no shortage of new things to learn and experience. And on More Explorers, I have the privilege of meeting some incredible people doing amazing things right here in our community. I visited the Southwest Florida Fencing Academy, and there I met a fencer in Fort Myers who shared how she gained much more than just a new hobby. It's not your typical sport, but for Cherie Rohn of Fort Myers, the glove fit just right.
I needed something to be active during COVID. So I started just scrolling around and I thought, fencing. This could really be fun.
All within the four walls of her one-bedroom apartment while glancing at her iPad Pro, Cherie learned how to fence over Zoom. What do you feel when you're fencing? I'm curious.
So incredibly challenging. I mean, like I said, I've been an athlete all my life, but I've probably never done anything that is so demanding.
Thankfully, while COVID has passed, Cherie's love for fencing is here to stay.
You know, it brings out the best in me, plus the adventurous spirit.
It's a spirit nurtured by the friends she's made at the Southwest Florida Fencing Academy.
The camaraderie is just amazing. I mean, it's like a family. We're like a family.
Cherie says it's a sport that welcomes all, no matter what shape, size, or age.
Let's just say that I am in the upper echelon of the veterans of fencing.
Cherie has arthritis in her right hand, the hand she uses to hold her sword. But Cherie says this physical setback was merely part of the battle. That's until she met a friend who inspired her to keep going.
And I thought, I don't know, can I really do this? And then I saw Cherie Hayes, who is a Paralympic fencer.
Hayes was born and raised in North Fort Myers and competed in the 2020 Olympics that took place in Tokyo in 2021. She was the only member of the United States Paralympic team to ever fence foil, epee, and saber, and earned herself a spot in the Paralympic Hall of Fame.
And I saw her fence in the wheelchair, and it's so, I mean, chills ran through me, and I thought, oh my God, you know, and I talked with her, and I thought, gosh, if Cherie could do it, she said, don't give up. And she said, just go for it. What have you got to lose, you know?
Nothing lost, but a new mindset gained.
That's sort of my mantra throughout life, go for it.
For More Explorers, I'm Britt Leone, ABC7. All right, Cherie fences regularly at the Fencing Academy. We have both Cherie and Terry here this morning. Good morning, guys. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
So Terry, let me start with you. Tell us about your journey. I know you served in the U.S. Army from 1977 to 79. And then when you were in the Army, tell us what happened that kind of led to your journey with fencing.
I developed problems with balance and falling a lot. And then that caused a knee injury, which kind of was just a cascade effect. And when I was discharged from the Army, I just kind of went on with my life. But over the years, things just got worse and worse. And finally, in 2012, I got diagnosed with a progressive brain disease. And by 2017, I was paralyzed. And I had always been active in sports, and I really just didn't want to sit around. That's not my style. So I found a camp for women in wheelchairs, sports camp, and I went. I absolutely loved it. I did all kind of stuff. And I came home and I just Googled wheelchair sports, and I saw Lauren DeLuca at the Rio Games, wheelchair fencing, and I was just mesmerized by it. It was beautiful, it was very athletic, required a lot of skill. And I thought, oh my God, she can step back and stab people. That's so cool. So a long way about, I found Charlie at Southwest Florida Fencing Academy, and he had never trained a para-athlete. And I said, I'd never fenced. He said, well, I've never coached a para-athlete. And he said, I think this is going to work. And he took me from a beginner all the way to the Paralympics.
Yeah, and what's kind of cool is I think you both have shared with me that you've learned fencing in your bedrooms, right?
Yes.
You both practiced in your bedrooms. Yeah, and you both sort of felt a little against the grain. I know, Terry, you shared with me when you were in the Paralympics, you almost felt like the grandma of the herd. You were saying competing with 22, 23-year-olds. What was that experience like going to the Paralympics and competing in that?
It was truly a dream come true. As a little kid, I used to jump over a rake, the rail handle on a rake in the backyard, doing high jump.
Yeah.
And then my sister would scream, 10, although you don't do that in high jump, that's gymnastics. But we just had our own little Olympics that we would play. So I really wanted to be an Olympian, and I never in my wildest dreams thought I actually would become a Paralympian and get to represent my country.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and I love your jersey that you have on, and it looks like you've got your mask with
Yes.
us this morning.
With
That's so
Tokyo.
cool. Yeah, and this isn't the first time you guys are meeting.
No,
It isn't.
no.
No, as a matter of fact, I met Cherie at the studio one time, and I was ready to throw it in. I really thought, I'm not doing anything, with this sport, and I don't like to not succeed. So, but Cherie was there, and she was so inspirational, just watching her. And she came over to me, and she said, "Don't quit." So I didn't.
It's awesome.
Thank you. I won't.
Never
So,
give
since
up.
COVID.
Terry, what does it mean to you to be able to have that kind of impact on people like Cherie, and I'm sure a lot of others, to see you sort of persevere, and what is...
Oh, it just really, it warms my heart. And there were people that came before me that I looked up to when I went to the wheelchair sports camp. The director of it was a Paralympian in shooting, and I was just in awe of her. And she said, if there's something that you want, you just really need to work hard for it, which I've always been a hard worker no matter what I did. And that recurred in my mind that if she can do it, maybe I can do it. And then the same thing happened with Cherie, that
Right.
Terry can do it, I can do it. And I'm sure there's people at the club that see Cherie that say, if Cherie can do it, I can do it.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And do you still fence at the academy or visit sometimes?
I visit with my coach, Charlie. I'm very close to him and his wife, Mary. They're just dear, dear people. I love them. I retired from fencing about 8 months after the games. I went to some more competitions in the U.S. And then it's a very, very, very physical sport. When you use a wheelchair all the time, you use your arms constantly. And my left shoulder was really giving me a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And by then I was 63 and a half years old. And I said, I think it's time to let someone else
Yeah.
fence.
Yeah.
And so I retired.
I see. Well, you guys are going to teach me how to hold a sword. I know there's 3 different styles of fencing, but Cherie, I'd love for you to show me.
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to give you a glove.
Okay.
We always wear a glove when we're fencing. There's the
right.
good one. You're right-handed,
Oh,
right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I won't point anything at you, so
Okay.
maybe we could do this parallel. Okay, I'll pick these up. Okay.
So what kind of sword is this?
This is an épée.
An
An
épée, okay.
yes. And it is, actually, épée is the French word for sword.
Okay.
So it's got a huge bell guard on it, this part right here, the metal part, because I can hit anywhere on your body and it counts. It makes a point.
Okay.
All
yes.
right? So you want to protect usually the arm area.
All right.
So you hold the weapon. I'm not going to go into a lot of that. You're going to hold the weapon like you're gripping a pistol. This is a pistol grip,
Okay.
just like you've got it, with your
Cool.
thumb kind of at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, and what you're going to do is, and
This is sort of how you stand.
yes, you don't want to kind of keep your elbow too close to your body.
Okay.
So, kind of at this level right here, and what you'll do is
Lunge.
you'll extend out like that, right?
Cool.
And then come back into
Into your
On
stance.
guard.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my
Right,
gosh,
that's
cool.
it.
Well, I'm learning new skills every day.
So
Thank you
that's it.
guys.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, thank you both so much for coming in and sharing your stories with us here on More in the Morning. It's great to have you both.
Thank you.
It was a great deal being here, really.
Maybe I'll keep the sword. Just kidding. All right. What is next on More in the Morning? Stay tuned. We're going to be right back after this break.